After getting a second chance at life, I deliberately avoided riding in the same luxury car as my crush, constantly reminding myself that I was just the driver's son. But when Gu Qinghan looked at the empty seat beside her, she called the driver Uncle Moo for the first time. "Uncle Moo, are you leaving already?" My dad was stunned. "Miss, is there something else? Moo Chen just texted me. He said he's busy with classmates and will take the bus home later." Gu Qinghan's face darkened. After coming back to life, things had somehow changed. What could Moo Chen possibly be busy with? He had never missed a single chance to ride with her. Back then, he was always afraid of making her wait too long, so he would get to the car early and sit there waiting. But maybe this was for the best. In her past life, her 5-year relationship with Moo Chen had later become a thorn in Chen Zhe's heart. Since she'd been given another chance, she needed to keep her distance from Moo Chen. That day, I walked for more than 2 hours before finally making it back to the Gu family estate. I slipped past the Gu family's courtyard and headed into the servants' quarters. From the second-floor balcony of the main villa, Gu Qinghan saw me. Her eyes followed me, and then she called out my name. I had my earbuds in and didn't hear Gu Qinghan calling me, so I acted like I hadn't heard anything and walked straight back into the building. Gu Qinghan's face turned cold as she headed for the servants' building. Just as I was closing my door, she pushed against it. "Moo Chen, didn't you hear me calling you?" I was a little annoyed by what she did. "I had my earbuds in, so I didn't hear you. What did you need from me?" Only then did Gu Qinghan realize she had been reborn. At this point, we had only known each other for a short time. We weren't close at all. I kept my tone distant. "Are you kidding? You're the employer, and my dad's the driver. With my status, how could I possibly ride with you? I didn't know my place before. I won't do that again." Gu Qinghan's expression instantly turned cold. "Good. At least you know your place. If Grandpa asks later, you can explain it to him yourself. I'm not the one who kicked you out of the car." After saying that, she slammed the door and left. I stayed calm. In this life, I was never going to make the same mistake again. I'd already applied for housing, but it would still take a few more days before a room opened up. The next morning, I got up early and waited for the bus by the roadside. Gu Qinghan had just gotten up, and from the balcony, she saw me leaving for school. She stared at my back, her expression dark. "Don't think this is going to get my attention." A few minutes later, the bus finally came. It was packed, so I had to squeeze my way toward the back. I just found a place to stand when I suddenly felt someone shove up behind me. I turned around and saw a middle-aged man standing there smiling at me. I tried to move somewhere else, but the guy refused to budge and acted like he had every right to stand right up against me. Right then, out of nowhere, this stunning girl appeared carrying a cactus and squeezed her way over. As she kept saying, "Excuse me," she used the spiky cactus to clear a path. In no time, she was right in front of the middle-aged man, and he got pricked because he reacted too slowly. "What the hell is wrong with you? If you're bringing a cactus on the bus, watch where you're going." The girl planted herself right where the man had been standing and gave him the most half-hearted apology ever. "Sorry, won't happen again, thanks for understanding." The man shot me a look, then stormed off to another spot. I looked at the girl, only to find her looking down at me too. Her features were sharp, like she was looking at an idiot. We locked eyes for a few seconds. "Are you making fun of me? You should be careful on this bus from now on. There are a lot of creeps like that. I've seen it happen more than once." It took me a second to realize that she had just been helping me. "Thanks for helping me. I'm Moo Chen, a playwriting major at A University. What about you?" "Su Xiaowei. I go to B University across the street. I study agriculture." By the time we were talking, the bus had already reached the stop. A university and B University were only 2 streets apart. After getting off, I still wanted to thank her a little more, but Su Xiaowei took a few long strides and was already at the school across the street. I turned and headed back to class too, without thinking much of it. This year's welcome party was especially lively. Gu Qinghan was the finale, and everyone wanted to see what the Gu family's little princess of Nanchang actually looked like. I was the only one who couldn't care less, because I didn't want to see her at all. But Shen Haoxuan insisted on dragging me there. "This only happens once in a lifetime. We worked so hard to get in. If we skip it, college won't feel complete." He dragged me straight to the 3rd row. A senior from logistics was moving snacks and pastries around, busy as hell. When he saw me, he asked if I could help carry a box of bread backstage so the performers who hadn't had time to eat could at least grab something. I took the bread, weaved through the crowd, and headed backstage. Tons of upperclassmen were waiting there to perform. I set the bread on the table by the door and instinctively glanced toward the dressing room inside. In my past life, I had come backstage on purpose to bring Gu Qinghan a berry-flavored bun she liked. Gu Qinghan is allergic to peanuts, and a lot of those breads were nut-flavored. I was scared he'd grab the wrong one, eat it, have an allergic reaction, and mess up the performance. But this time, I couldn't be bothered with him. He's a grown man after all. There's no way he can't even read the word nuts. Inside the dressing room, Gu Qinghan had no idea what was going on. He still hadn't left by the time someone knocked on the door. Song Yutong was about to get up and answer it, but Gu Qinghan moved faster. He strode over and opened the door himself. "I don't eat that." But before he could finish, he paused. "Who are you looking for?" The guy outside looked startled by Gu Qinghan's expression. "Miss Gu, I heard you're performing tonight." Bang. Gu Qinghan slammed the door shut with a dark look on his face. He turned around and sat back down on the couch, cold enough to freeze someone on the spot. Song Yutong scratched his head. "Qinghan, you don't like Zhao Yanchen?" Gu Qinghan froze for a second. "I didn't see clearly just now." "Then who did you think it was?" Gu Qinghan didn't answer. He was irritated as hell right now. Why hadn't Muken shown up yet? In his past life, Mukin had already been here by this point. In the end, he couldn't wait any longer. Gu Qinghan finally got up and walked out. And that's when he saw that people outside were already handing out bread. Song Yutong came back with some bread. Eat a little and hold yourself over. If we go out for food now, we won't have enough time. Let's eat after the show. Gu Qinghan took the bread and looked at it, only to realize it was nut-flavored. His face darkened even more. It wasn't until he went on stage to sing that Gu Qinghan finally saw me. The guys in the audience were all cheering for Gu Qinghan's entrance, while I was sitting there with my head down playing on my phone. I was probably annoyed by the noise, because I even put my earbuds in. After Gu Qinghan finished singing First Love, the whole place was completely fired up. A lot of people came up on stage with flowers. Gu Qinghan had already received several bouquets, but he still didn't step off the stage right away. He didn't even know why. He just couldn't stop looking in my direction. At that moment, in the third row of the audience, Shen Haoxuan came back carrying 2 bouquets. He stuffed one into my arms. Muchen, I'm going up to give Gu Qinghan flowers. You coming with me? I handed the flowers back to Shen Haoxuan. Was he kidding? Give flowers to Gu Qinghan? I'd rather give them to a dog. I glanced at the stage and suddenly remembered that Song Yutong had helped me out a lot in my past life, so I said, sure, let's go together. At that moment, Gu Qinghan suddenly thought that in his past life, he hadn't accepted my flowers. This time, he might as well take them. After all, he knew I really did love him. Even if he didn't love me, he still had some feelings for me. Gu Qinghan stood there staring at me as I walked up with the flowers. He didn't even realize it himself, but when I reached him, he naturally freed up one hand and stretched it out, ready to take my flowers. But instead, I walked right past him and handed the flowers to Song Yutong behind him. I smiled and said, that performance just now was amazing. Can I give these flowers to you? Song Yutong froze for 2 seconds before taking them. Of course, thanks. After giving him the flowers, I turned around and walked off the stage. I didn't even give Gu Qinghan a single glance. Song Yutong met Gu Qinghan's gaze, looking completely confused. Gu Qinghan suddenly turned to him. What's going on between you and Mukin? Song Yutong looked speechless. What do you mean, what's going on? I'm not even close with him. Qinghan, don't tell me he did all this on purpose just to get your attention. Who does he think he is? Why would I ever pay attention to him? By the time I got back to the Gu residence, it was already 10 at night. Dad Mu came over the second he saw me. Mukin, did you see Miss Gu at school today? She didn't have me pick her up, and now it's already past 10 and she still isn't back. Her phone's off too. Madam Gu is looking for her everywhere. I pulled out my phone and opened the freshman group chat. You can tell Madam not to worry. They're probably out doing karaoke. Okay. I'll go let her know right now so she doesn't send someone over to question you later. In the group photos, I also saw a handsome guy sitting next to Gu Qinghan. That was Chenze. Sure enough, they still ended up together. The next morning, Madame Gu was furious about Gu Qinghan not coming home the night before. I was worried she'd drag me over for questioning, so I got up early and left. After getting on the bus, I spotted Su Xiaowei right away. Today, she was carrying a crystal-clear succulent. I was worried I might run into that middle-aged man again, so I immediately walked over to Su Xiaowei and greeted her with a smile. Su Xiaowei quietly shifted over a little, basically sheltering me inside. I was genuinely touched by how thoughtful she was. I took the initiative to start a conversation. Sis Su, what's that plant you're holding? It's so pretty. I stared at it for a long time, but I didn't reach out and touch it. That succulent looked a lot like the gift I got when I graduated in my past life. Su Xiaowei said, it's called Neon Light Haworthia. Do you like it? I nodded. Yeah, it looks like crystal. It's gorgeous. Before I could finish, Su Xiaowei pushed it toward me. Here, take it. It's yours. I instinctively reached out and took it, a little stunned. You really mean it? Su Xiaowei didn't show much expression. You like it, don't you? Just take it. I have plenty at home. That's when I remembered she was a student in the College of Agriculture. She was probably really good at growing stuff like this. Last time, she was carrying a cactus, and a little succulent probably wasn't worth much anyway. I happily accepted it. Thanks, Senior Su. I'll buy you milk tea next time. Su Xiaowei looked at me for a long moment, then pulled out her phone. Then don't go back on your word. Add me first. I took out my phone too and added her. Okay, I won't. The bus got to the stop pretty quickly. This time, Su Xiaowei didn't leave right away. She actually stopped on purpose to say goodbye to me, which surprised me a little. After waving goodbye to Su Xiaowei, I carried the succulent to class. Shen Haoxuan rushed in right at the last second and dropped into the seat next to me, looking excited. I stayed up late last night watching all the gossip in the group chat. I heard that little Gu princess is dating the campus heartthrob from Tech U. Of course I knew. The hottest guy at Tech U was Chen Zhe. He was supposed to study abroad, but after his father got into trouble, he couldn't go and ended up taking the college entrance exam instead. So he reluctantly enrolled at Tech U. School had just started, and things weren't looking good for Chen Zhe's family. He wanted to latch on to Gu Qinghan, a super rich heiress. And Gu Qinghan had even fought with her family over him, and refused to go abroad. The two of them hit it off right away. They were probably all lovey-dovey in Chen Zhe's rented apartment right now. Shen Haoxuan looked at my calm expression and seemed speechless. Mu Chen, you're not shocked at all? Gu Qinghan is actually dating someone. What does the rich girl's love life have to do with me? If you've got time to gossip, you might as well pick up another side job. Shen Haoxuan nodded. True, she can date whoever she wants. After a moment, Shen Haoxuan spoke again. Mu Chen, is this neon light Haworthia yours? Damn. You keep telling me you're broke and then you show up to class with a plant that costs 4 figures? Now I'm the one who's shocked. Are you kidding me? It's just a tiny little succulent. How could it possibly cost 4 figures? Shen Haoxuan studied it for a full minute. I looked it up online for a long time and found out this succulent really wasn't cheap. With quality like this, Su Xiaowei must have put a ton of care into raising it. Then I pulled out my phone, opened Su Xiaowei's WeChat, and sent her a photo of the neon light Haworthia. Senior, what time do you get out this afternoon? I'll bring the plant back to you. Su Xiaowei replied with a question mark. Didn't you really like it? I already gave it to you. Why bring it back? It's too expensive, and I'm worried I won't be able to keep it alive. I should just return it to you. A while later, Su Xiaowei finally replied, Nope. Then she forwarded me the neon light Haworthia care guide. Just follow this. If you don't get something, ask me. I put my phone away and looked at the succulent in front of me. My whole expression changed, but that wasn't even the end of it. Shen Haoxuan suddenly stared at my neon light Haworthia again. Then he hit me with another one. Mu-chen, why does this flower pot look like agate? I clutched my chest and told him to stop talking. I didn't have class that afternoon, so I carefully carried that plant back to my room like it was treasure. My stepmother, Zhang Lan, who lived next door, stood outside the window and called out to me. Mu-chen, Madam wants to talk to you. The second I heard Madam Gu, I felt irritated on reflex. In my past life, during those 5 years I was with Gu Qinghan, Madam Gu always made trouble for me whenever Gu Qinghan wasn't around. The dorm room I'd applied for wouldn't be ready for another week, so I still had to stay here for 7 more days. I walked up to Madam Gu and asked obediently, What would you like me to do, madam? If I can do it, I won't say no. Qinghan skipped class again. The counselor called me today and said she hasn't gone to class for 2 days straight, and school just started. Madam Gu sounded heartbroken, but it didn't move me at all. Because I knew there was no way the school counselor would have called Madam Gu to report that Miss Gu was skipping class. Who would dare mess with the Gu family's little princess? Whether she went to class or not, who would dare say a word? Isn't Mu Chen at the same school as Qinghan? Some of their classes even overlap. Could you keep an eye on her for me? The second she skips class, text me. Come on, let's add each other first. I knew exactly what Madam Gu was really mad about. It wasn't that Gu Qinghan skipped class. It was that she skipped class to go on dates with Chen Zhe. The same thing had happened in my past life too, but back then, I really liked Gu Qinghan. So I told her about it. After that, Gu Qinghan would show up in class first, wait for me to take a photo so Madam Gu could check in, and then slip out. Later, Madam Gu found out and dumped all her anger on me. This time, I wasn't going to help Gu Qinghan again. I was just about to refuse when Zhang Lan reached out and smacked me on the back. It's just taking a photo of Miss Gu. That's not even hard. Don't worry, madam. Mu Chen can definitely do it. As she said that, she used her own WeChat to scan Madam Gu's and then pushed Madam Gu's contact card to me. I walked out with Zhang Lan, my face dark. I'm not doing the photo thing. You said yes to it, so you do it yourself. After saying that, I turned around and went back to my room. I understood exactly what Madam Gu was trying to do. I'd been going out of my way to get close to Gu Qinghan lately, so there was no way she hadn't noticed. And Gu Qinghan hated being watched more than anything. So by having me secretly snap photos of her, Madam Gu could make Gu Qinghan hate me, and also stop her from getting close to Chen Zhe. A little after 10 that night, Gu Qinghan finally came back. The second she got home, she got into an argument with Madam Gu. They fought for nearly an hour before Gu Qinghan stormed out of the villa. She went straight to the gazebo by the small building next door. That gazebo faced the window of my room. In my past life, I used to secretly watch Gu Qinghan from that window all the time. Gu Qinghan stared at the window with a cold, heavy gaze, counting in her head. Every time she got to around 20, the driver's son would come out to find her, bring her something to eat, hand her an umbrella, or just come out to check on her. But this time, with a soft bang, the window she'd been staring at suddenly shut. Right after that, the curtains were drawn too. Gu Qinghan froze for a second, looking totally stunned. With a dark expression, she walked over and knocked on the window a few times. I hadn't expected Gu Qinghan to come knock on my window, so I stood there inside for a few seconds before heading out. Miss Gu, were you looking for me? Gu Qinghan looked at me, her expression complicated. Why did you shut the window? Because I value my privacy. If people can see into my room, that's not exactly great, is it? Gu Qinghan's face turned cold. I wasn't acting the way I had in my past life anymore, but she still thought this had to be some little trick to get her attention. Then keep your window shut from now on. Don't open it. That hot-tempered rich girl is seriously annoying. Gu Qinghan suddenly stopped in her tracks and turned back around. My mom told you to take pictures of me in class, didn't she? I froze. How did you know? Relax. I'm not going to secretly film you. I never did before, and I won't start now. Gu Qinghan let out a cold snort. The way she looked at me turned a little strange, and after a few seconds, she finally said, Fine. If she told you to take pictures, then do it. I'm not skipping class anyway. After saying that, she turned to leave the yard. She remembered how, in her past life, I helped her brush off her parents and got scolded for ages because of it. This time, she didn't really want me getting chewed out like that again. But then I suddenly called out to her, Wait! Gu Qinghan stopped. Just as I thought look flashed across her face. So he still likes me after all. With that arrogant look on her face, she asked, What is it? Then she saw me holding up my phone, camera pointed right at her. Miss Gu, you just said I could film you, right? Say it one more time, please, so nobody comes after me for it later. Gu Qinghan snapped. I said you can film me. Film me if you want. Happy now? Then she turned and strode off. I happily saved the video and went to sleep, totally not expecting Gu Qinghan to be so mad she wouldn't sleep all night. The next day, Gu Qinghan had an early class. After getting in the car, she instinctively looked to her left. I was supposed to be sitting there like always, waiting for her, but I wasn't in the car. Not long after the car started moving, they passed me walking on foot. Gu Qinghan's eyes immediately landed on the milk in my hand. I've always liked drinking milk in the morning. Every day after waking up, I'd soak 2 bottles in warm water and take them with me to drink in the car. Gu Qinghan hadn't had that kind of milk in a long time. She stared at it for 2 seconds, then suddenly said, "Pull over." Then she said to me through the window, "Get in." I shook my head. "Thanks, Miss Gu, but no, I'll just take the bus." It was the first time Gu Qinghan had ever tried to be nice to me, and I actually turned her down. She let out a cold snort. Whatever. Then the car sped off. I made it to the bus right on time, and sure enough, Su Xiaowei was on it too. I walked over, pleasantly surprised. "Morning, senior." Su Xiaowei quickly put her phone away. If I'd looked a little closer, I would have seen that she had just been scrolling through my social feed. I handed her a bottle of warm milk. "Here, senior, have some milk." After riding the bus together a few times, we'd gotten pretty familiar. She pulled out her phone and showed me her beautiful garden. After we got off the bus, she said, "If you ever get the chance, I'll take you to see my garden. There's even a little fish pond." While we were talking, Su Xiaowei suddenly stopped. I sensed something too, looked up, and saw Gu Qinghan standing nearby with 2 friends, glaring darkly at the milk in Su Xiaowei's hand. One of her friends kept making snide comments. "Qinghan, that's your family's driver's son, right? Didn't he used to follow you around all the time? So what, he switched targets now?" The words "switched targets" clearly got to Gu Qinghan. Right then, she had no idea that I'd been reborn too. She stared at the milk in Su Xiaowei's hand, then looked at me with a cold laugh. "So that's why you stopped hitching rides with me? You like some other woman now? Too good for me all of a sudden?" My face stiffened. "Miss Gu, what are you even talking about? What, am I wrong? When you first came to the Gu house, weren't you waiting in the car for me bright and early every single day? You used to bring me this milk too. So why are you giving it to someone else now?" Thinking about who I used to be, my face turned ugly. I really regretted ever liking Gu Qinghan. What was wrong with her today? Did she take the wrong meds or something? Gu Qinghan looked Su Xiaowei up and down again and sneered. "You probably don't know this yet, but he's my family's driver's son." I felt mortified. "I'm sorry, Senior Su." Su Xiaowei reached out and ruffled my hair. "You don't need to apologize. You didn't do anything wrong. I know exactly what kind of awful person Gu Qinghan is. But I really didn't want to drag Su Xiaowei into this, so I urged her, 'Senior, you should go to class. Don't be late.'" Su Xiaowei frowned and asked, "Who is she?" I went silent for 2 seconds. "She's a psycho." Su Xiaowei paused and asked hesitantly, "Is she your girlfriend?" "Of course not." Seeing how eager I was to clear things up, Gu Qinghan gave a cold snort. Like I'd ever fall for a driver's son. I was furious. "Right. You're way too good for a driver's son. Then what? The person who spent 5 years with you was a ghost. What is wrong with you? If your head's messed up, go get it treated." Across 2 lifetimes, this was the first time Gu Qinghan had ever been yelled at by me. She stood there frozen, staring at me. Gu Qinghan finally shut up, and Su Xiaowei fell silent too. I looked embarrassed. "Bye, Senior Su. I'm heading to class. You should hurry too." Without waiting for Su Xiaowei to respond, I turned and ran straight through the school gates. I didn't dare look at her, afraid I'd see shock and contempt in her eyes. Back when I was with Gu Qinghan in my past life, I'd had more than enough of that kind of look. Gu Qinghan stood there with a dark expression, still unwilling to stop staring at Su Xiaowei. Su Xiaowei didn't look happy either. Holding the milk, she glared at Gu Qinghan. Once my figure disappeared from sight, she turned and left too. That morning was a general lecture. After I sat down, I opened my chat with Su Xiaowei. I wanted to apologize, but after typing and deleting over and over, I still couldn't send a single word. No matter what I wanted to say, none of it felt right. Just as I was about to lock my phone, a message from Su Xiaowei popped up. "What's wrong?" That's when it hit me. I'd been typing for almost 10 minutes without sending anything, and the typing status had probably been visible to Su Xiaowei the whole time. My face turned red from embarrassment. "Senior, I'm really sorry about what happened earlier. I hope you won't take it to heart." "Didn't I already say it wasn't your fault? You don't need to apologize." My eyes stung a little. Compared to Gu Qinghan, Senior Su's personality was just so much better. With the way Gu Qinghan had talked in front of her, I had no idea whether Su Xiaowei had misunderstood anything. What if she thought I was the kind of guy who flirts with every girl he sees? While I was thinking that, someone walked past my desk and bumped it. I looked up and saw Gu Qinghan walking by me with a cold face. She went and sat in the back row. Gu Qinghan actually came to class today? Wasn't she supposed to be off seeing Chen Zhe? So what she said last night was real. I froze for a few seconds, then immediately picked up my phone, snapped a photo of Gu Qinghan right after she sat down, and quickly sent it to Mrs. Gu. She said I could take pictures and send them to Mrs. Gu to keep an eye on her, so I